said to you, I think this is great. I don't know if there's a big audience for it. Wow, was I wrong?
Overseas. Find out more at Eclipse.
Time to join our man at the cinema up there in Eclipse Cinema in Bundoran. And Collie, how was your week?
Great, feeling no pain as it were, he said, segueing very smoothly into one of the movies. It's been a great week. Got to see all the movies. I think was it last week, the week before, I hadn't seen any of them. So we've made up for it this week, and I've seen all the movies that we're going to talk about this week. And couple of action movies. One is kind of a preview of something we're going to talk about next week, but I think you're going to love particularly. And we've got a very special Mr. Monday. But we'd start with Novocaine, and I think we've a star here to actually introduce it.
Are we going?
Let's go.
Okay, cool.
Come on, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna get really, really messed up. Nathan Kane cannot feel pain.
Hey, Nate.
Hey.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
What? Oh, I'm fine.
You're a superhero.
No. And when his bank gets robbed,
Open the vault! We need a hostage!
Nate decides to rescue the woman he loves.
Come on, man, just tell me where she is.
Oh, you're strong!
I don't feel any pain. That kind of gives it away, like, so. And
that is the plot. We've talked before about elevator pitch movies. Movies that you could stand next to the boss and he goes, you've got to get to my floor to tell me about this movie. Ordinary guy, can't feel any pain. He's an assistant bank manager. And because he's so, his parents were so worried all their life that he would injure himself, like he only eats ice cream and smoothies and stuff like that so he doesn't hurt the inside of his mouth. He's never really experienced life. He meets a girl, he falls in love, she changes his world. Next thing, the bank is robbed, she's taken off as a hostage, and he says, I'm going to go and get them. Does the fact that he doesn't feel pain come into handy? Yes, it does. So it's kind of a gimmick in that he's not a superhero, right? Because he can't do amazing things. But when they punch him, he doesn't feel it. So he keeps on going. And Jack Quaid there, lots of people would know him from the TV show The Boys, and he was also in Scream and stuff like that. Obviously the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. A Nepo baby, to use the phrase. But he is a very likable, everyday character. He's just has a good manner about him. And you believe him as this kind of schlubby guy who's wearing this suit, brown suit, of course, because he doesn't know anything. And suddenly he goes, he falls in love for the first time and he goes, I don't care. I'm getting a girl, And it gives a load of excuse for some quite squeamish bits now. Yeah. You might remember a couple of weeks ago, we had a secret screening. This was what it was. And everyone really enjoyed it. Nobody knew what film it was before they came to see it. But there's lots of excuses for the bad guy to attack them with a fork or something. And they're jabbing it into him. And he's just going, yeah, could you stop doing that, please? But it is causing damage. He's not Superman. He just can't feel it. So there's lots of silly jokes about it. And there's lots of moments, which is exactly what you would like. We talked about this last week. I was saying about Snow White being suitable for the people Snow White is suitable for. When I was a teenager, going to a cinema on a Friday night, with popcorn bag as big as your head, and watching a movie like this, especially for the squishy bits, is exactly what I love doing, and I still quite like it now. And this is exactly up your street if it's that sort of stuff. If you're somebody who goes, well, is it like on Collie and Kuhn? No, it very much isn't. But if you just knock about it, John Wick, but a bit more of a comedy, and just an excuse that somebody attacks him with a pane of glass and he's just there going, ow, trying to pretend that it hurts. It's very funny. It's very likable. It's in and out in an hour and a half. Good, dumb fun. And funnily enough, it's not even the most stupid movie we have this week, but it is good fun.
Now, we get on to our second movie, which reminds me of another film. And it's a working man.
Yeah.
And this is like Novocaine-ish.
Well, when you said it reminds you of another film, and I don't think it's brilliant scheduling to bring these two movies out together, because the people who would love to see one will probably love to see the other. But I was thinking about this. There was a movie with Jason Statham, where he was a mechanic who suddenly had lethal combat skills, right? And then there was the one where he was the beekeeper who suddenly had lethal combat skills. And the one where he's a transporter who suddenly had you see where I'm going with this one?
Yeah.
So he's a working man. Do you think he might have a past where he's kind of a military guy? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is he being typecast, do you think?
Well, he produced the movie, so he is typecasting himself, and he's doing what people like and what's fun. And you said it when you saw the trailer as well. You said it's a bit like Taken, and of course, it's absolutely like Taken in that Taken wasn't that original in itself, but what was original about it was that it was Liam Neeson doing the action rather than one of these guys. Jason Statham's great at this because he's there going, "Oh, I'm just a builder. I don't do this anymore." The girl is taking it, go, "Will you help?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe." And of course, he's a whole load of friends he drags in. And of course, he has a gun, but every time he drops the gun, because he can find a shovel or a drill or a spatula to beat the people up with. You know, why would you just keep it when you can get a bag of cement and throw it at somebody because he's a working man? So it is so stupid, but I really enjoyed it this morning, to be honest with you. Because it is, but I knew what I was going to get, and there's nothing in it. Yeah, like Novocaine, I think, is knowingly silly. And it's kind of winking at you. Working man's just going, "Yep, this is what it is. This is what it is. You know what you're getting." It, to quote another famous working man ad, it does exactly what it says on the tin. It is.
I love that quote. That's the best quote today.
Yeah, it's one of the best ads ever. But that's exactly what it is. It's good.
But it looks good and it looks well made.
If you like something, he's good at it. And he's a likable screen presence. The camera loves him and he's good.
Okay, come on. Now, it is Mother's Day, Sunday, and you got something special.
We do have something special. This is actually officially open next week, and it's a little Irish movie, and I was afraid. I saw the trailer for this about 2 months ago, and I was going, "Boss, please get it." And he's going, "I don't know. Maybe it's too small." The trailer is laugh out loud funny, and I watched the movie yesterday. The whole movie is laugh out loud, but it's also very poignant, very sweet. So what it's about, a lot of people I know, a lot of people my age, you know, where the person who's still single ends up looking after the elderly parent, and maybe the brothers and sisters who have kids don't. So, and it's a group of lads in Dublin. They're all gay. They're all in their sort of mid-30s, 40s, and they're all kind of looking after a parent. But one of the lads who's a novelist is particularly, he's a bit of a doormat, and everyone kind of leans on him a bit. So suddenly the lads arrive on his doorstep. Doorbell rings. And they've dumped their mums. They've gone off to Pride in Gran Canaria. And they say, "Look, we need a weekend. You have to look after your mum anyway. Why not look after all our mums?" And suddenly he finds the four mothers together. And of course, typical son behavior. They say, "Sure, all the ladies will get on grand. They're four very different women and they do not like each other and they do not want to be in each other's company." So the main one is Eamon's mom, which is the great Fionnuala Flanagan, who said this is quite hard because she doesn't speak in it. Her character's just had a stroke and she's using an iPad with voice recognition. And you wouldn't think...
That's very funny, though.
It's so funny. The timing in it. It must be so hard to do that right with the robot kind of Stephen Hawking voice. But the timing is so funny. And she's sarcastic. And like a lot of older people, she does have not two of anything to give. She doesn't. If she thinks, "Get these old women out of my house," she is going to say it. It's lovely and it's funny. And it also says a lot about, you know, the system. And look, you know, in the ads... before we go to the show, there's 2 ads for care jobs. This is a real life thing to everyone. But it's told with affection. And I imagine the people who wrote it have something like this in their life because it's so well done, so well observed. And I was really surprised. The actor is actually Scottish. He's from, like, the accent is supposed to be from near where I'm from in Dublin. And it had me convinced, even the way he says, "Ma'am," all the time. I think people will love this. So it's only shown on Mother's Day in the Director's Lounge at 6 o'clock. But next Friday it's open. And I'll probably rave about it again then. But it's really good.
You can do it next Friday. Right, you've got an Indian film and I think you're sold out, are you? Nearly?
Yeah, almost sold out. We've had to put on 2 more shows. We love, as you know, showing one off for different people in the community. But it's brilliant when you see this come out. Over 100 tickets sold for Friday, so we had to put it on Saturday and Sunday. Apparently it's a big gangster movie. It's a sequel to a film called Lucifer. And I noticed Jerome Flynn from Game of Thrones and Robson and Jerome Flynn is in it, and I bet he's playing a bad guy because it's like Irish movies. We always have an English lad as a bad guy. I'm sure in the Indian movies you always bring the colonists in, so that looks like good crack. And I suppose we better quickly mention Mr. Monday because it's one of the biggest movies we've had all year. Wicked, which I remember when reviewing it, I said to you, "I think this is great. I don't know if there's a big audience for it." Wow, was I wrong. Wow. It was a massive movie. Already they think part 2, which is coming out next November, will be the biggest movie of the year, even more than Avatar. So it's brilliant. And if for some reason you haven't seen it, go see it. It's such a treat. Such a treat.
Mr. Monday.
Mr. Monday for only €5.
Only €5. That's Collie on movies and all that's happening up in Eclipse Cinemas. Enjoy the movies this week. You're back next Friday?
Next Friday, if possible, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I said impossible. It's very possible. I'll be back next Friday.